All right, so this is the introduction to Flair and our smart vent product. My name is Johnny Anderson. I head up our sales and partnerships for the North American market here at Flair. We also, another member of our team, Stephanie Thede, she's our head of customer success. She's actually on vacation, so she'll not be joining the webinar today. But she, as you guys get introduced to the product and start getting your hands on it, she's available, definitely great for onboarding, support, helping you really kick off with the product, make sure it's a product you want to continue to offer to your customers, get familiar with the system. So she'll be a great resource as well. We also do have a pro technical support team. So for all our dealers out there, they are able to call or email. This is our pro only specific information here, so not to be shared with homeowners. And they're available 9 to 5 Eastern, very easy to reach, and really quick to help you guys troubleshoot if that does come up. So a little more information on the company. We went to market 8 years ago, more so direct to consumer and online retail. And 3 years ago, we saw a really good opportunity to go into the B2B space, go to HVAC dealers, to integrators, to home builders. That whole community was an opportunity we recognized needed to be tapped. And so that started about 3 years ago. And as soon as we started, Blackwire was one of the first groups that we reached out to, being very involved in integrator space and being great for support and building great relationships with all the integrators out there. So we started pretty quickly after the relationship. Once we went into the B2B channel, as one of the first partners we wanted to launch with in the integrator space. But this is our mission from our founder here, our CEO and founder, Dan Myers. One thing I always like to mention, I'm going to go a little backwards on the mission statement here, but we like to create products that help improve people's comfort, right? We want to do it in a very energy efficient way, but not sacrifice that comfort. Comfort usually is the first thing that comes to people's minds when they're purchasing new products, smart home products. And but also being able to tie in some really good energy efficiency gains is something that's part of our mission as well. We continue to release new products. We'll actually be talking about some newer products today, and it's going to remain very in line with this mission statement. So not going adjacent and coming out with some products that are completely out of left field that don't align. Very much align with this mission statement moving forward. All right, let's jump into our products here. Before we do that and talk about our solution, let's outline the problem that we see across a lot of homes. And we'll drill a little bit deeper on this, but I'm sure a lot of you have had these issues in your own home or customers complain about it, but a lot of times homes just aren't balanced well. The airflow doesn't go to the exact places that actually need it. It just leaves with an uncomfortable home. It could be a bedroom, it could be an office, any type of place you're occupying a good bit of time. And those temperatures can be quite unbalanced. That's where our solution comes in, our platform. And what that platform is it's a combination of these products pictured here. It's our HVACOS platform, which lives in our app. It's also the smart vents, and it's also our Flair puck, temperature sensor in the rooms, and also communicating with the smart vents. This is all done wirelessly, which is great, and there's some big advantages of that. But also, it's solving an issue that it's existed for years, just not been addressed. For several different reasons. One of those reasons is the alternative in the home today is installing traditional dampers. As you can see pictured here. Also not pictured here is running wire, right, to these dampers in the ducting, and getting to the ducting can be very costly in a retrofit home. You might have to rip open walls. squeeze through crawl spaces. This is very time consuming, invasive, and costly for the homeowner. And then, of course, you also have to configure a zone board, which it has its own challenges. Even the HVAC dealers that are very familiar with these products, they don't install these very much, if any, on retrofit homes due to the nature of the installation, how costly it is, and just homeowners just don't bite for that price point. So insert Flair's platform, right? Our smart vents and all of the other additional products we mentioned earlier. It's going to be a lot less installation cost, installation time. You don't need your advanced level installers to install this product like you do with this traditional zoning equipment that you have here pictured below. You can use someone new to the industry. You just need a screwdriver, drill, and your device. It could be a laptop, phone, or tablet, and you're up and running really quickly. So big advantage here, and it's a really good opportunity, to tell your customer. They might have already been quoted by these products, likely from an HVAC dealer. So a great opportunity to say, hey, well, I've got a solution for you that's much more cost effective, and we can finally fix those issues that you complain about. We like to tackle this early on because it's a common question is Flair going to close all the vents at one time, create a lot of back pressure on the equipment, which could cause equipment failure? The answer to that is no. We do have back pressure protection built into our platform. What that means is we're going to take a very conservative approach. We're only going to close a third of the vents at one time in a single zone. That does take into consideration Flair vents and existing vents that you're going to remain intact, because not necessarily you have to install all of the vents in a single home with our smart vents. We've had no issues with this. We have a lot of customers that have had this for 7, 8, 6, 5 years. No complaints, because this protocol has worked really well for us to relieve some of that pressure on the system and not cause any equipment failures. In the event of Wi-Fi or power outage, the vents will fail open. So the failure mode is always open. At that point, once you got to establish those, once those get established, the Wi-Fi or the in-home network is back up and running, or power's provided back to that smart vent, they will then go back to operating in normal state. I'm going to outline some common airflow issues that we see across the home. And these are very stereotypical. This doesn't take into consideration how customers' homes are built, how the duct was laid, how the configuration was, how they occupy spaces as well as another variable that needs to be considered. And then also seasonal, right? Sometimes seasonal airflow can change. You could want to change the airflow on a seasonal basis. So those are questions that need to be asked when installing and learning about the customer's pain points. And I'm sorry, before you provide that solution and the offering and the quote. So, but these are really good things to think about on how to solve some of these very common airflow issues, excluding the variables I just mentioned, with our smart vents. So I'm going to start here at the top. This one's a really easy solution. The first rooms off the run can be really troublesome rooms. Could be 1 or even possibly 2 rooms off the run. And depending on the season, it could just blow really, really hard. So a lot of AC in the summer and a lot of heat in the winter. And just makes for very uncomfortable rooms. The rest of the house might be completely fine, but in order to maintain that, the desired set point across the other rooms, you have to sacrifice these rooms. They just get overheated and overcooled. So the solution there is to automate that, right? You drop in our Flair smart vents and our puck to monitor and speak with those smart vents to maintain a much more average temperature in those rooms. Prevents them from overheating and overcooling. Another issue we see a lot of is too little airflow. This is very common in townhomes, especially the 3-story or fully finished basement and 2-story homes. Uh, I usually what happens is it's the primary bedroom on the or multiple bedrooms on the top floors, and they have a lack of airflow. Could be the equipment wasn't sized right, the insulation isn't great. I mean, there could be a myriad of issues of why that persists. But what you need to know is we have a solution for that. In this situation, you're going to want to install the vents, and not pictured super well here. Let's assume that this is a finished basement. You want to install the vents across these 3 rooms in the finished basement to direct more airflow upstairs, specifically during, sleeping hours. In this situation, because you have a lack of airflow, regardless of the season, you don't necessarily have to outfit the vents up here because they're likely just going to stay open all the time, right? But a really great solution is installing our vents in this manner. This one's our most common, and something a lot of our dealers usually default to. This way, you don't have to ask as many questions about their airflow issues, because if you're going to outfit all or a majority of the vents in the home, maybe you're going to leave like a laundry room or half bath the way it is. But the rest of the main rooms in the home, you're going to outfit with our vents and our pucks. In that situation, you're going to be able to solve any of the airflow issues mentioned in this example. Basements. If you're in a basement market, this is really common. Homeowners always complain about this. In the summer, they want to get the cooling out of there. It's a waste. It's a waste of energy. It's going to overcool that space. And they want to get that out there and up to ideally the first floor or potentially the second floor, right? So you'd outfit the vents on that room in the basement, obviously, to get more airflow upstairs and in the other floors. But in the summer, in the winter, you might want to do the same thing. You might want to, or the opposite, right? You might want to get more heating downstairs into the basement, because obviously all that heat's rising up into these other floors, and it's overheating these rooms and leaving the basement with quite a bit colder. So, and it might be one of those things. This is where some of our features we're going to jump into here in a minute. Utilizing some of our features will help dictate that, because we know basements aren't always used all the time. It might just be a hangout room on weekends or late at night or something like that. So we have some additional features to help with that as well and automate that process. Cool. One other thing here too is like lean on Blackwire, lean on Flair to help with these airflow issues. Ask us questions, before you're doing the installation, so you know how to outfit that particular customer's home with the correct Flair products. We're definitely here to help, and we realize everybody's home's different and airflow issues are different from home to home. Jumping into the software side of things, our HVACOS platform. As you can see here, there's a lot of information you can gather. We have awesome data. You can see the data on a room by room level, the set point you want in that room versus the room temperature. You can set up schedules. You can, the whole platform itself is a zonal mapping, because that's what you're doing, right? You're taking the control out of the thermostat sitting in a dark, cold hallway, and now you're putting temperature sensors all across the home, and you're able to dictate what to do with that airflow, not just read the temperature and overheat and overcool the house, right? You're actually able to manage the airflow from room to room. So the way to do that is obviously we provide the platform provides a very much zonal mapping on a room by room basis. So all this lives in the app. You can use it on different devices, as you see here, iOS and Android as well. Instructions are really easy. You just follow step by step. Very much like a lot of the smart home products on the market. And then there's also great features too, like scheduling, right? Not everybody occupies every single room at one time. So we really lean in and recommend schedules to be configured. Maybe it's something your homeowner wants to do, but if you want to provide that for them as well and walk them through that during installation, we recommend it. That way we're not trying to hold a set point on every single room, right, at one time. That way we can dictate airflow to certain rooms and maybe ignore certain rooms during certain times of the day and evening. Other great features, the shared access feature, you can have multiple users on this account. So what we do recommend is setting up the account using the customer's email address on your own device, and then letting the customer know, hey, there's a feature where I can have access as well. I can do complete edit access or view only. That way, I'm that first level of support for the first few weeks. It's part of the cost that you just paid for the installation and the service I'm providing and the expertise I'm providing. You can lean on me to tweak some of the system, right? Maybe we need to add some schedules, tweak the schedule, play with a couple other features that Flair offers to really refine your system and get the airflow the exact way that you want it. And then that way you don't have to roll a truck out there. You can pull it up and talk with it or talk through that app and the platform with the customer over the phone. Other cool things, we do have voice control with the Google Assistant and Alexa, Amazon Alexa. Very easy. It actually maps very much the way our zonal mapping system works. So you're going to name each zone or room by the room name, whatever you decide, living room, den, kitchen, whatever it might be. And you can just yell out to the voice assistant, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, change my set point in the bedroom to 70 degrees. So really easy there. All right, so let's talk about some of our integrations. Let's start here on the right, some of our home automation platforms, as we mentioned here, Alexa and Google. We also, through Blackwire, has built an awesome driver with Control 4, and it is available to purchase through Blackwire. So really awesome there as well. On the smart thermostat side of things, because we're not actually, our products that we've been, showing you, we don't have any way to run wire to the equipment. None of that is provided. We're not a 24-volt control sat. That's done by the existing thermostats on the market. These are some of them that we work with, the Wi-Fi stats that we work with that you can integrate into our platform. Once you integrate them into our platform, there's two different modes you can select from. The default setting will be the set point controller will still be determined, the set point will still be determined from the smart thermostat. So the best analogy to say there is Flair is sitting in the passenger seat, right? So we're sending read API calls to that thermostat, seeing what's going on and adjusting accordingly in our platform, right? We do not have any influence of that thermostat, right? We're not nudging it. We're not doing anything to it. We're just reading what's going on, along for the ride, and obviously adjusting our platform, the vents accordingly. The other mode that you can select is you can have Flair determining the set point of that particular home and of that thermostat, right? So Flair is now in charge. We're in the passenger seat. We're the captain. So what we're doing is we're reading the set points across all the rooms that you have set up Flair devices, our sensors, Flair pucks is what we call them. And we're able to aggregate that data, make a determination, hey, on average, we might be 3 degrees below set point in all the active rooms across the home. So let's nudge that thermostat that thinks it's right where it needs to be to continue to operate, nudge the thermostat down a bit, deliver more cool air to the spaces that need it, and obviously close off the spaces that don't need it. In that situation, you can really get very granular room by room temperatures when you have Flair in the driver's seat as the set point controller. So yeah, that's how we work with those smart thermostats. All right, we've been talking a lot about the app and the platform that we offer. Let's jump into some of the physical hardware. This is the smart vent with the front cover taken off. You can see there's screw holes here. And you'll notice that they're all rated for either ceiling, wall, or floor registers, right? You can place them any place. If you want them on the wall or the ceiling, there are mounting holes that allow you to drill into the wall or the ceiling. And of course, you don't have to use those if you're just dropping them into the floor. Really good steel construction, definitely very rugged. So if kids or dogs or chairs step or get placed on the vent, it's not going to bend or break or anything like that. So powering options, because we are wireless, how does it receive power? Well, this is the back of the vent. You can see the dampers here, but also you're going to notice the battery compartment. This is the back side of the battery compartment. Each box, each vent comes with 2 C-cell batteries that are going to run to 3 to 4 years. Great for retrofit. We do alert the homeowner in the app with email, push notifications, and in-app notifications when the batteries are starting to run low. Also, if you prefer, specifically for new construction, we recommend running wire. 24-volt wire. You can run 15 vents off of 1 transformer, so not a huge energy draw. You can do it for retrofit, but we just see it more common for new construction. One thing I want to mention too for the batteries, I'm going to go back a slide here and show you that the battery compartment is very easy and accessible. So if you're on the fence of like, I'm putting these in a retrofit home, like an existing home, and you know, I don't really want them to have to deal with batteries. It's annoying. All the vents are in the ceiling. I understand it might be a lot to take the whole register out to replace, but we do make it very easy and simple. You just have to take off the front vent cover and you can access the battery compartment without having to pull the whole register out of the ceiling. So it's very convenient. For placement in the floor, if that's how your customer's home is, and they have floor registers, likely they're not going to be super keen on installing them with the white vent that comes with each box. So we do sell these smart vent covers separately for the floor. I mean, you can put these in the ceiling too, but ideally people are going to want these in the floor to match their wood floors or, you know, whatever type of floors they have. So we make these in the most common floor sizes, your 4x10, 4x12, and 4x14. They come in multiple different colors. You can do the black, the espresso, which is dark brown, and caramel, which is light brown. Offers a nice aesthetic, especially if you're doing it on a nice higher end custom home. Before I move on here, one thing not mentioned, I should have this on. We offer 10 different sizes, something Blackwire provides. You can see on their online catalog. But we hit all the biggest or most popular sizes across US, from 4x10 all the way up to 12x12. And then there's, 8 sizes in between that we offer. So. All right, so let's talk about the puck. So the puck can be powered 2 different ways. You can use the AC power cord that comes in each box. Looks like a cell phone charger. Or you can use the 2 AAA batteries, 2 lithium batteries that come in the box. The batteries will last for a year, about a year battery life. And again, we'll provide alerts in the app, email notifications as well when they start to run low. So it's just up to you on how you want to power the device. There is a third option. It's not pictured here, but we do manufacture a USB mount. So if your customer has a USB outlet, not at the baseboard, we recommend being it up closer to where a thermostat would live. You can use our USB mount to sit flush into the back of the puck, and then that USB port will be able to connect to a USB outlet. So there's 3 different options on how to power the pucks. And the pucks are important. You need 1 puck per room. So you don't need 1 puck per vent. You just need any room you're placing our smart vents. We need to understand what that temperature in that room is, and then also be able to communicate that to back to our platform. How does that communication happen? That happens through our Flair bridge. This is our networking hub. This is the first device that you're going to get connected in the home. There's a couple different ways to connect it. You can either run Ethernet cord to it, which we highly recommend, just as you guys can, I'm sure, understand. You avoid Wi-Fi passwords, reconfiguring the router, all that jazz. But you can, if you want, if there's not a good way to plug that into the router, you can power it and then just connect it to the 2.4 Wi-Fi network in the home as well. Once that's connected, we broadcast a very large radio range across the home. Can get up to about 6,000 square foot homes and hit every Flair in device. So anything 6,000 or below square foot home, you're good with 1 Flair bridge as long as it's centrally located. After that, you might want to add an additional bridge to that Flair home if it's a larger home. And then everything's fully wireless, right? Everything can run off batteries, or you can hardwire it. You can hardwire the vents, or you could plug it in, the pucks in as well. Also, some really cool things you can do. We didn't mention this earlier, but we do work with Ecobee and Honeywell's sensor API. So if your homeowner already has a bunch of Ecobee sensors or Honeywell sensors placed across the home, you can use those in place of the Flair pucks, which is really nice. As I mentioned, different Ethernet options, right? Or a powering option, or I'm sorry, networking options. Can run the Ethernet. The cable will come with the box, or if you prefer to just connect it to the 2.4 Wi-Fi network, all you'll need to do is just power it and connect it. So cool. This will give you a good understanding of how our networking works. Your bridge is connected to the in-home network. Now we are communicating over 915 radio signal to the Flair in devices in the home. As you see here, we don't show this as just a puck because, as we mentioned earlier, if the smart thermostat controlling the actual in-home HVAC equipment is an Ecobee or Honeywell, you can use their sensors in place of the pucks if you prefer. Some of our dealers will do a mix of both. They'll have the sensors in a lot of the common spaces, and then in some of the bedrooms where they don't always have their phone available to adjust temperature, they'll want the puck on the wall because they can just walk up and adjust it, the temperature in the room from the puck itself. So as a wrap here, just a quick little overview of what we've talked about. This is a product solution that is very easy to install, and it provides an awesome solution of homeowners complain about a lot of, right? These are issues that they have and big pain points in a lot of places. Specifically, a really good way to ask is, if their master bedroom is too hot and they overheat, a lot of people just don't sleep well when they're overheating at night in their bedroom. So a great opportunity to provide a solution for them that's not going to break the bank. I mean, the alternative is a lot more expensive. We talked about traditional zoning. It fits into a lot of the custom integrator platforms that are out there, like Control4, Google Home, Amazon Alexa. And it's just a fun experience, right? It's easy to use for the homeowners once they get it in their hands. And it can be, you can get it set up on schedules, and you can be a set it and forget it very much. Just let the automation do its work and maintain temperatures and the airflow the way the homeowners want it. Deliver much better comfort than what they're used to. Of course, this is just an introduction to our products. We do offer even more advanced training, a little bit more technical or feature based. That's something that we provide. So if that's ever desired, you can just reach out to us. We'll be happy to set that up for you, coordinate that with Blackwire as well. But we're really excited to introduce this to everybody. And yeah, if you have any additional questions, we can stop there and go ahead and shoot those out if you have them.
Awesome. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you.
See any additional questions or anything coming in on the chat. So that may be everything.
Awesome. Yeah, and you can always drop it to us later too if it comes up. We're always available for happy to answer those questions. And yeah, would love to get these in your hands and get you start trying them.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Cody.
Bye.